so that's really not looking good. Hopefully you don't get the hiccups where I had the hiccups the other day, and I was raging for a good, like, half an hour because I couldn't get rid of them. Viper Harvard. Now, interestingly enough, I have seen a lot of Vipers start to be picked. Well, not a lot, but a few Vipers start to be picked up in the first strike. And I feel like that's kind of the edge that Viper needed to be pushed over for people to be like, yeah, you know what, Viper is viable. And to be honest, I think she is. I think the utility she brings is really quite useful. And some certain situations where her utility can be very viable. So, I feel like she's going to start to get picked up a lot more now that the kind of pros have recognised that they can be picked in a competitive environment. And you see now Sonny is maybe brought into the team because they are confident in playing Viper and know all these sneaky lineups and one-ways and stuff. Maybe he's just going to try it out for the day. Turbine is on Sky, which is interesting to me. So I guess she is just came into the competitive map pool. And Killjoy is obviously back with Mix and Alza. Oh, I've already forgotten. Going to the notepad. Dezilla. Okay. Same thing. Almost. A little bit. And Dezilla is on that Killjoy as well. Like Drap is going back to his comfort pick of Jet. And we've seen him perform well on it. So there's no real questioning from me there. He is quite good at that. Raise Chaos Knight on Reyna. All seem to be pretty confident in those picks that they've gone with. We did see Mix play a lot of Killjoy before it was removed from customs for a little bit. Alatoon. Not on Reyna this time. We did see him have a really wonderful game of Reyna on Split. But going back to his more IGL laid-back role, I feel, on the Sova. And it is going to be Hydro5 on defense. Start this game coming out. I'm going to be interested. I'm going to be spectating this Viper. It doesn't go with any utility in the piss round. Opts for a Frenzy Light Armor. I wonder if that is a specific plan, or if they just think that they can win this without the utility. Looks like Assailant are looking for some little lineups over towards this A side of the map with Killjoy. But at this point, it's very indecisive which side of the map they could go. They could choose either wrongly here with this full 5 stack on the B side, or they could choose correctly. It looks like they are going over towards this A side of the map. This early info aggression that they're going for over on B might be enough if this push comes out slowly from the Assailant guys. Some darts come through, some utility. But all these guys still holding back towards long. That's just come through. Turbine takes on Alatoon. Everybody TP'd. These guys must have heard that. And a really nice call from them. 4-man rotating through the TP area. Almost gets taken down by that Killjoy Molotov. Managing to survive on 11 HP. No Sage to heal him up, unfortunately. And they managed to get the bomb down successfully. And I should have turned the game audio down. And I think it's down enough for it not to be overbearing. I would play some earlier when I turn it up. But hear the sound of the TP coming through behind. That turret is there and ready to watch. Getting spammed a little bit through these boxes is Hitch. Not aware that someone's already on site, is looking for that. Connects the first headshot. 2 kills, 3 kills have already gone the way of Hydro5, finding the location of the 5th man. And that's going to be Chaos Knight going down. A nice headshot from Dezilla. And Hydro5 take the first round with a very nice, compact team play. All taking that TP and completely encompassing the B site on the retake. Not leaving Assailant with any avenue of holding the site from outside of the site. The furthest way they could get to defend was around the elbow area. No one else could really leave because of that encirclement that they had going on. And back to what seems like a bit more of a normal play into this round with 2 people on B, 3 on A. And I feel like that's pretty much the general split, especially as you get your controller on as Killjoy with all this utility to be able to lock down the B side of the map. And oh, I missed that, but Drap getting first kill onto Chaos Knight. No armor for him, so that was going to be just a one-shot. For this Marshall, we've seen Drap be so confident on in these anti-eco rounds. Some orbs might be picked. Alatoon wanting to get the Hunter's Fury up as much as possible, taking down some utility as well. With Sky rotating over towards the B side of the map, kind of a bit hesitant left in this CT spawn area. Nephilim going in on 7 HP. Flashes come through and Zilla takes that kill onto Nephilim. Pretty low bar right now. My game is lagging very badly. Very badly indeed. I'm not quite sure the reason to this. Okay, that was a bit strange. Hopefully it has fixed itself and won't be much of a problem. I completely missed the end of that round, but as it was an eco round, not really the end of the world. It was cleaned up effectively by Hydro5, and with not very many casualties of themselves, they are going to go for a bonus round here. Only long-range weapon they really have is this Marshal, and the Bulldog is going to go for an aggressive peek over towards the bathroom side of the map. Wrong person. Sonny throwing some Molotovs down. Wrong person again. I'm really getting confused, but Chaos Knight finding first kill through that smoke, Zero trading onto Hitch. That brings it down to a 4v4, which I always say favours the attacking side, because one of the sides is going to be less defending, especially with that kill that Mix gets onto Zero towards his long area of the map. Some lineups again coming through. I'm expecting to see more and more of these the more games I spectate. Stinger, with only 6 bullets left, is going to switch to the classic to try and take down at least one person. Reload going through underneath the window. Going to go for some jumping kills right here, but Nephilim takes him down. Headshot straight through the wall. Quite low on HP though, so he's going to have to back up. And the A side of the map is completely open. Chaos Knight having confirmed that with this excellent lurk, which is really nice to see Assailants starting to do. Lurks are really powerful, allowing you to get free bomb plants in a 4v2 situation such as this. Just hear information of this Viper going towards CT spawn, so I'm going to call that for his team, and it looks like Alatune is going to go be looking for that. Here's the Jet TP as well, so we know he's got a pretty safe flank onto this Viper. Not really quite too sure where she is, but hopefully should be able to secure this kill. Sonny M getting one onto Mix without the information perfectly. Wasn't really much Nephilim could do about that, but get the trades and Alatune finding the final kill of the round, not letting anyone from Hydro5 survive, taking down as much weapons and utility as possible. And now leaving Hydro5 in a little bit of a not perfect buy. They can drop 2 rifles over if they so wish. Hitch could buy with some light armor, but they are going to go for some Spectres instead of dropping for their teammates, going for some little aggressive plays over towards these close angles like hooker bathrooms or mid is a possibility. Bathrooms, it seems like it's going to be Drap with this operator. We have seen him be very successful with these pushes on this map previously. Doesn't find a kill, but they managed to get the ult orb. And that is something to say. They pick up Viper Smoke, so they don't lose any utility because of it. And traded out for a Boombot as well. Raze did use that Boombot to... Flash comes through from Sky and blinds Hitch, but he's aware enough to back into that corner, dodging it, and Alatune is there for the trade. Nephilim finding Sonny M over in this bathrooms area, and Hitch finding a blind side onto Drap. This A side of the map is completely open. Nephilim going for Satchel up this heaven area. Zero did hear that, but he's not really going to challenge. He does realise that there are only 2 members of his team left, up against 5. So they are going to look for what should be a save here in this round. As much weaponry as they can going into this next one was pretty key, because their money is not looking very good. And they will not be able to buy fully next round. They might opt for an SMG buy with 4 rifles. That money looks like it will be flexible enough to do that. Although, with Nephilim hunting towards spawn, doesn't opt to go any further, so it doesn't look like that battle is going to be had over towards this elbow side of B. Some spam coming through, but nothing really important. And yeah, Hydro5, they could go for 4 rifles, but they can't get the 5th on the board. But I mean, Assailant just did that with Mix on the Spectre, so to be honest, it's not really the worst call in the world. And I would have a good utility, so with only one player being down a weapon, and considering it's the Jet who is got a kit pretty much built around being able to get to places that she shouldn't be, these nice close angles, then it's not too bad. Instead, going for this classic, it does not have Blade Storm available, so just looking for some close range kills. I have called out this play before of going for a classic full armor, and it came back to bite me because it actually worked in that round. So, you know, I'm not going to call it out here because it could definitely do some work with that right click being pretty powerful. Even against full armored opponents, Alarm Bot comes through and make Killjoy vulnerable, but she's not going to peek, so it's not really going to be too effective. Definitely looking for some spam. Instead, takes a little bit of damage, and Lockdown is available, so this could be a really nice, quick, clean B take from Assailant, if not for the fact that Sonny M taking 2 kills from the site, make that 3. New player really coming in pretty huge for Hydro5, almost a 4th, but stolen away by Dazilla. And a really nice performance from the new player on Hydro5. Some crisp, clean aim, not really anything too impressive, but nonetheless, that's some good indication of how well this guy's going to perform on this team in the future, considering I think this is possibly their first scrim I'm at least aware of. That's pretty good, you know, showing that he's already kind of assimilated into this team enough to be able to pull off a 3k in a site defense. Chaos Knight might be here to counter a little bit of aggression over towards the A side of the map. This is something that Hydro5 have done before, and Chaos Knight going to take the first kill. He's going to be chased by Drap, but 2 really nice, crisp, clean headshots from him. He's going to secure his team a heavy advantage in the start of the round. Looking like they want to make it an A play. Not aware Sky is towards his bathroom area. Flash comes through, but no peek off it, and H5 Turbine finding a headshot onto Toon. Sadly, it couldn't have been the 2-piece. I mean, he did a pretty good job there. At least finding 1 kill in that situation is good enough. Could have been more. Sadly, it was not meant to be. Dazilla taking engagement over towards CT spawn. In the meanwhile, Sonny taking down Nephilim from long range heaven with a Phantom. Chaos Knight with 3-piece trading it back. And Sonny M going down. No more heroics from him in this round. It is up to Dazilla to pull off the 1v3, and now they know where he is. So that is looking less and less likely for him. Best he can hope for here really is a kill or 2. Maybe saving his weapon, doesn't get a kill, doesn't save his weapon. At least he dies and he gets that ult point, so now lockdowns are available for both sides. Meaning that we could see some lockdown v lockdown action on one of these sites. Which is always quite interesting to see. Because it just kind of creates this chaotic like area on the map where no one can really be in, and then everyone tries to resurge into it as quick as possible as soon as it's gone down. And then it's just kind of this chaotic, just like aim duels situation, which I find quite interesting to see. Probably very hard to spectate though. I haven't really been in that situation, but I'll probably have no idea what's going on. That hopefully will just make it more fun. Viper does activate Viper's Pit over towards his B side, and that's some flashes come through towards mid. No kills are found off the back of that, but remember Sky has 3, so she can afford to waste 1 or 2 just for that info. What you can't afford to really waste is Drap's life going down to Chaos Knight in this bathrooms area. He has been having quite some luck with these initial duels. Alza and Turbine holding over towards this lamps area does go down. Well, not go down, he gets a kill, but his teammate did go down, and he's locked in here, completely surrounded by everybody from Assailant. Does see a little bit of a head there, but can't really find anything out of it. Does have lockdown available. This would be a pretty strange situation to use it, as it would be so easy for Assailants to peek into it. Nephilim with a really nice little off angle finds the head of Dazilla. And it is just up Sonny, who did use Viper's Pit earlier in the round, but obviously it's on the B side of the map. Another really nice timing crouch peek from Sonny M. Some really nice crisp aim from him as well. We have seen that before in that previous round, but just really cementing that this guy is definitely a solid player and deserves his place on the Hydro5 roster, at least from what I've seen so far. Obviously I can't comment on his like end-game calls and how he's doing as far as that, but at least he is mechanically skilled and seems to know what he's doing. Zilla looking for a pause. Discord is updating, so I think they were not in VC for that round or something. is a little bit unfortunate, if that's the case, but hopefully they can get it sorted for this round. And it doesn't take too long, because I don't really know what to talk about in these pauses. I haven't really... I don't know. I feel like it's a pretty close game, and with this money coming through from Hydro5, they are kind of at the disadvantage in this round, looking like they might possibly have to concede this one because they only have around 2k per player. I'm going to force up a little bit. Zilla buying Bulldog with no armor, but I mean, if he's not in Discord, then that's not really something they communicated, so we go for a Spectre instead. Things just like being sold and bought across the board here. They don't really know what they want to go for. Funny, with a little wall to start off with. This would cut off bathrooms and a mid. Can't shoot it before the round starts. Or maybe not in pause time. Maybe you can't do it when it's paused. The reason why he hasn't shot it out yet, or they just can't really decide whether they want to use it or not. Some KZ going over on the site. Hopefully this man's Discord client can update. There's a bit of banter in the chat going down there. I don't know if you guys can actually see that. I don't know if the stream quality is good enough. I hope it is. Because I'm streaming 1920 by 1080, and I think that's pretty much the standard of HD quality. So, you know, it's not quite 4K, but close enough. Can't really comment on where I think this round's going to go, other than the fact that I think Hydro5 are not looking too hot into it, just because of the buy. I don't really know where Assailant are looking to take this, as they could move at any point after this pause is over. One of the advantages of Valorant is that you can move to wherever you want, so it doesn't really matter if you're at a spawn advantage or disadvantage. You could plan in the previous round to go for a B rush, and you would always be in the perfect spot to do that because of the spawn door system they've got going on, which I really like. I think it's quite nice, as opposed to another game like CS where you call a B rush, and if you've got bad B spawns, then it really could not go in your favour. Nephilim opting for a judge, though. I would like to see him go for like an aggressive play with these satchel charges we've seen him go for before. And with a judge, you know, that's a pretty decent weapon to go for that kind of a play with. Is you kind of have to get into a close ranged situation with it. Obviously those satchel charges do help. Oh, my game's just tabbing out. I don't really know what it's doing. Okay. Okay, well, one of them still isn't back yet. Nice to see these two teams are getting along with each other, at least. I was one of the teams I've casted before. Turns out one of them blocked the other team because they were incredibly toxic and not very interesting. And I can reach out to that team to send them the video if they wanted to watch the casting, so I'm not quite sure what's gone down there, but, you know, at least these two teams seem to get on, you know, as well as competitors can. Team falling asleep at the wheel, it seems like. Wants to get in there and show some of his Sova lineups. I mean, surely if Discord's updating for the H5, then it should be updating for the other guys as well. There's DC though, but hopefully he will be back in a second. He's having some problems with Vanguard. Everything's going wrong in this scrim. Hack Client Boys, I'm calling it. He's got worst 7.6.1 on. Those of you that don't know that reference, it's just a Minecraft hack client that all the boys used to use back in the day. I'm not sure if it's still really a thing, but you know. It's always fun to see some guy just join your server and start like bee-hopping across the map and teleport kill or kind of shit. Fortunately, there isn't stuff like that in this game. Its anti-cheat is pretty good, and it does detect people quite effectively, which is something else it has over other games that I have in mind, you know, competitive FPS games. Little does this guy know that I am having a blast of a time talking about Minecraft hack clients. And this game could be paused for as long as I want, because, you know, I did have an old MC account where I went on and did some old fly hacking on the Hypixel occasionally. Good fun, good fun. Oh, bro. I'm not on Hypixel. I'm a proud owner of MVP. I think this normal MVP on Hypixel, good server. I played it for pretty much my entirety of my youth. Me and my friend just used to play Hypixel Skyblock, not Skyblock, Sky Wars, every night without fail. We just used to get home, load our PCs up, and bash out some Sky Wars. Very fun. It brings back lots of memories as well. He's restarting his PC, trying to get these Vanguard errors fixed. That's one of the disadvantages of having such an intrusive anti-cheat, is that if it does have a problem, you've got to kind of restart your whole PC to get it fixed. It is kind of annoying.
Out of charges.
At least you do have pauses that are limited enough to accommodate for kind of these mistakes. In CS, you only have one pause per team, at least in a normal comp game. So, I mean, at least they can have these errors and still be okay as long as both teams are cool with pausing. I know in a tournament setting they would usually have like pause limit, time limit for pauses and stuff. You know, in a scrim setting like this, there's not much point to calling an unpause just to get a little bit of an advantage. After all, scrims are for practice, so no need for things like that. Well, I have played against a few teams that have scrimmed, and they would have definitely unpaused at this point. Which is really not the way to look for it in scrims. It's just not the way to go. In the tournament, yeah, obviously, if there is a pause time limit and they go over it, you call that out. But in the scrims, I mean, everyone's just there to learn, so there's not much point in doing that. Although, both lockdowns are still available, neither of them having been used. And I'm still waiting to see that lockdown against lockdown kind of engagement and where it's used. And even if it does get used, because, you know, that kind of relies on both killjoys being in the same location or roundabouts. Hunter's Fury is available for Assailant over Alatoon. And I really couldn't tell you the name of Sky's ult, but the tracking thing blinds people is pretty cool. And also quite effective, especially in clutch situations where you want to figure out where everyone is, or even just in a retake where you want to not have to check a million corners all at once. Obviously, Bladestorm is available for Jet. That might be something they're looking to use in this round, as it is going to be quite a light buy. And it is a pretty effective tool to whip out in these light buy rounds, as it has some decent range and some good up-close potential. He's just died, bro. Tell his hamster to run faster. If this was my mates who would have been talking him for having a potato PC made out of bamboo, and he got it on a Tesco's meal deal. Dawn's meal deal, whatever. Remember, it's taken him some time, but oh, it's whatever.
Here.
Hopefully he hasn't died, like you mentioned. Be pretty unfortunate.
Here.
He has reconnected. He's returned. He's finally back. Hopefully he's back in Discord and we are ready to go. I think Discord, never mind. We've still got a little bit to wait.
Here.
But yeah, regarding this Viper, I don't know. I feel like there wasn't really many players that had learned Viper and all her utility as enough to kind of pull it out this quickly after it started to kind of be seen as more competitively viable. So I do feel like it's going to take a little bit more working up to be used more often. But it is really good considering like just the potential uses of the two area denial uses of that snake bite. I think it's snake bite. Oh, I can, yeah, snake bite. Snake bite, not snake bite. My apologies, but you know, close enough. Just the area denial of that being quite potential. And with that, does it still add a vulnerability? Yeah, applies vulnerable party effect. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Should it be raring to go pretty soon? That's a good shout. I've had to use Discord on a browser my fair share of time. You know, it's not the worst in the world. I wouldn't want it to be a permanent solution for anything, but it definitely works. It's all Skype. Oh, I remember Skype. I mean, who doesn't really? Skype's the OG thing. Try Zoom. Bro, where did Zoom come from, man? BlackBerry Messenger, that's the real OG stuff. BlackBerry Messenger, bro. What Messenger? Bro, what's your BBM? I remember people used to say that when I was in school. Well, very early on in my school career. Well, it brings back some memories as well. This is just a very nostalgic game for me, all these things coming up. Oh damn, bro, is that word to be mentioned on Twitch? I don't know, can that get me banned? I'm not gonna risk it. No one saw anything. It was a glitch, never happened. The Matrix broke. I mean, he's here. I think he's just waiting for Discord to fix itself. Or something. Well, I think he's speaking in game and both teams can hear him. Because he's in a party. We leave the party, yeah, that should fix the issue. Hopefully you can get underway with this game. I'm definitely raring to go, as I'm sure these guys are. Interesting that I can't hear in-game comms though. Why that is. Even in party chat when I'm in the same party. Strange. Well, I'm assuming that's what happened. Obviously I couldn't hear them. So I wouldn't really know. But that's my guess as to what's going on anyway. I think everyone has left. Lee? Good. Get it going. Something else as well. I've been looking into like actual headsets for casting because I do feel like the amount I move and with the fact that my mic is stationary and not moving around in relation to my head, that it's not really the best because it kind of changes, you know, as I move back and the audio levels change a little bit and it's not really the most pleasant listening experience. I just can't stand still. Some banter going on in the chat. I think they're ready.
Keep up.
Okay, pause time is off finally. We are resuming into this game. Everyone's moved around so much as they were at the start. It does look like this bomb is moving over towards its A side of the map. Long peak looks like it's going to come in with the stinger. Orb gets picked up. Spam isn't good for a kill. Dart comes through, doesn't get its first reveal off. They don't know Killjoy's here, but taking 55 damage from that shock dart makes them take the TP and escape. Full B site take does come through, and they are aware that Killjoy, the enemy Killjoy, is somewhere behind because they hit that alarm bot. They are pretty much completely locked out of the site until Jet, who did in fact activate Blade Storm, comes through and getting the first one. Completely onto the site right now, but Hitch finding 2 over in Spawn. He's not good for another one. Jet finds another. The fact he's left party means I can't see his name. I'll try and remember. It's Drap. But he does have streamer mode on, so I might forget that at some point. Not the cleanest of rounds, Assailant, but they get the job done with 2 players surviving. And now it's going to be full rifles across the board for both teams. Looking like Jet does. She already has heavy armor board up, so yeah, she can fully afford a Vandal or a Phantom, whichever they prefer. It's going to be the Phantom. I feel like might honestly be better on this map. There's very few locations where you won't get that one-shot headshot from the Phantom. Sky ult does come through, and that's going to be chasing people on through this mid area. They can now be pretty confident and there's not really anyone over towards the bathrooms, because that's where it was activated from, and it didn't go to there. So, you know, they do throw the dog out to explore that. But they can be pretty confident at this point. It is going to be an A push. Sunny pushing through. Smoke gets traded out by Chaos Knight. Empress comes through, confident and they can take this round. He's vulnerable. Hopefully get a kill. Hitch takes down Z-Right and Dazilla before that showstopper can come through. And again, nice successful beat take from them. Only losing Nephilim on that raise. Some flashes come through, but there is no one there to really be hit by that. And go down. Turbine does get 1 kill though, taking down Hitch, but gets sideswiped by Chaos Knight, taking down Drap, and he's left in a 1v3. Decent HP and does have a Vandal, not really very much utility left, and can't use that heal on themselves unfortunately. Or can they? I don't think they can. Why is chat still open? Yeah, Sky can heal herself. You see, I do know some things, I just have to check them over once. They are hunting for this kill. Unless they peek, oh, saved by the timer. That did look pretty dangerous, and they could have gone down there, but they managed to save that gun nonetheless. Does look like Hydro5 are looking to kind of force at least a little bit around this gun. And just hope that Turbine can pull something out the bag, get like 1, 2, 3 kills with that gun. And the cleanup can come through from the guys with the Sheriffs and the Stingers. They are gambling towards B with 4 people over there, and it looks like it might be an A play with Drap rotating over towards B. This A side of the map is completely open again like it was in the pistol round. They don't really have the info that it's not going to be B to rotate back over until this bomb goes down, which is going to be in just a second. We'll see when that timer clicks in their heads. Bomb goes down, and they do start to rotate. They're picking their utility back up, and he's probably going to take TP at the right time to reconvene with his team. Mix might be kind of going in for this little flankaroonie, but isn't going to go for it. Nephilim takes down Dazilla, who took the TP. Now they can be pretty confident that everybody else is going to come through CT, as they have pretty much every other angle covered. Some utility coming through, nades, and snake bites coming through. And Turbine with that first kill. Chaos Knight finding the sideswipe onto Sunny. But Sunny had already got pretty much most of their utility out, so that is better than not. Smokes them through, but Chaos Knight with a hero play over from this bathroom area takes down 3 for himself. And Jet is going to go down to the bomb here, taking Mix with him. But that's not really the consolidation you would like. You would much prefer to have gone the kill yourself to get the money and even done some more in that round, maybe picked it up. But sad to say, that was not to be. Now they have another opportunity with 4 rifles across the board. It's a pretty successful attempt considering they did have a lower level of weaponry. So I'm liking their chances coming into this round, especially when they're not gambling towards one specific site. I mean, if they gambled correctly, that round could have gone very differently. Vipers, it comes out over on this B side of the map again. Just kind of shutting it down, really. It's quite hard to push out onto a bomb site when you can't really see anything on it. You can't really clear any of these angles easily. And there's the buffs that Viper has received, allowing her to be out of it, any of it, longer periods of time. Showstopper comes through, and Nephilim finds one, and it is a 2-for-2 trade for this offensive team. Or defensive team. Both of them got a 2-for-2 trade, so it doesn't really make too much of a difference. Lockdown comes through. Now, is it going to force AssailantUK away from the bomb plant? They are going to take the TP over towards the B side of the map. Viper's pit is not up anymore, so that is going to be pretty nice and clear for them. Utility comes through. Bless me, just needed to sneeze. Utility comes through from Mix. Now it is up. AssailantUK to take this initial engagement over towards the CT side of the map. He's not going to be able to catch the headshot. Very nice reflexes from Zoray, taking him down before he can take his teammate out. Some good confidence in your teammates to be able to hold the angle for you. Mix, considering using the lockdown, doesn't opt to. Peeks out, almost takes a second guy. Would have used a lockdown if they managed to get back around the corner, but that's not the case. DUI taking 3 for himself in that round. And a very nice, clean retake and sight hold over towards the A side of the map. Doing both of them in one round is pretty impressive. Retaking and holding a site. So props to these guys, but it's going to be the last round of the half. All ults available should be used this round, and both teams are going to be pretty much at the top of their buy, although Viper does have full utility, but only light armor available for her. So hopefully she can make that work best way possible. Is going to be another 3 people over towards this A side of the map, which is pretty much the default that they have been playing. It's going to be Nephilim finding the initial damage over on towards Drap in this Lance area. Boombot comes through to keep that area away. Like, keep that area shut down. Nades come through as well. Just really doesn't want to get peeked by Jet. Skyhook comes through so they can get some information of where people are coming from. Hitch finding the spray onto Turbine as he backs away from the bathrooms area though. Nephilim aware where Drap is, and Hunter's Fury comes through. AssailantUK looking for some tags, doesn't find anyone, but it's okay because Nephilim brought it in the 3v5 for his team.
Spike planted.
And they can be pretty confident about the flanks because Killjoy has it fairly well locked down with the utility, not the ultimate. We haven't heard the sound from the TP. Sonny is going to get spammed a little bit through the smoke. Unfortunately, Hitch not able to find that kill, but a little bit of damage is better than nothing. It does see someone drop onto the site, and they are just playing quite defensively, just playing for the time when this bomb plants over. Dark comes through, gets a reveal onto Jet, allowing Nephilim to push forward and find 4 kills for himself in this round. Half charging his showstopper, but it doesn't matter because it's the final round of half. And I feel like Assailant are going to be pretty happy with that. 8-4 half coming out from them. I mean, yeah, right, Hydro5 have a new player on Sonny, but it's not like Assailant are a team that have been together for the longest time in the world, around about a week or 2. A good showing from them for sure. Especially as I feel like their secret map might be Ascent, as that is what I saw them kind of going over a little bit before this scrim block started. So going into the pistol, no crazy stack from the defensive team this time. 3 ghosts and some light armor. 4 frenzies currently picked up by Hydro5. Very interesting. And a shorty. Looking like it's going to be a very aggressive play over towards this A side of the map. Drap comes through, is up and over this utility. They get in without taking down any kills, but this is where they are at a disadvantage. Chaos Knight with the range and a ghost is going to be pretty happy with those engagements. He can get those kills pretty consistently. and is overhealed with 50 extra shields on board. Bomb does TP over to the B side of the map, and they are aware of that fact, but are they aware Jet's still in lamps? Yes, they heard her shoot, and if they can take them down, it is going to be a 1v1 over on the B side of the map, though. Not letting the bomb go down, trying to bait out some noise so Viper doesn't plant, but the plant goes through anyway. Meantime, Drap did die over towards the A side of the map. Mix cleaning up with that right click from the classic. An interesting attempt, going with 4 frenzies and a shorty. Didn't quite work out in the end. And I feel like it would have worked if you just had like maybe 2 ghosts or 1 ghost just to kind of back you up from the back line and take those long range engagements as you were trying to move further up. That is not to be the case. But a good valiant effort nonetheless. This is what scrims are for, practicing different strategies and seeing if they are viable. I'm not quite sure Hydro5 got out of that one. I would be saying like, maybe viable in a different situation or maybe a different map. Which really didn't work out well for them there. They are going to be in a very low buy round right now. 3 pistols out for the side of Assailant. Even though they won the first round, they have 2 bigger guns available with the Stinger and the Judge. Hoping that that will be enough to carry them through this round. Hitch is going to be the first point of engagement over on the A side of the map with this frenzy. Here's the dash coming through from Jet and manages to just about not escape with his life. That is going to be Turbine finding a jumping classic. Right click, one of my favourite kills to get in the game just because it's so satisfying. Only thing that can make it more fun is if it's a headshot. Now, Assailant have pretty much given up this A side of the map. KSI is going to go in towards the lamps, finding 2 kills for himself. Not enough time to find that third, just getting out of that, that animation. And to be honest, Nephilim is pretty lucky to be alive right now, because he did just get sideswiped by the Killjoy in bathrooms. But Dazilla, with the long-ranged classic, manages to find the headshot, and both of these players are now within pretty close range of being knocked out by this classic.
30 seconds left.
Turret shots coming through, making everyone well aware that he's still in this bathrooms area, looking out for the flank. No one is going to come from there. There is some utility out. Going to be hop across to the side, but Nephilim with a nice little angle. Zilla just didn't really have time to check. Taking them down. And the 2 weapons that they bought did work out for them, and now they're going to have enough money this round to buy a couple of rifles. So it's not really going to be so much of a bonus round and more like a full gun round coming out from both teams. Which is nice to see. I think you can go for a mix of buying, half buying, just so you can get at least some rifles across the board. For this 3rd round gun round. As, you know, if you can win a round with just 2 weapons, then there's really no reason not to go and waste money. Nephilim looking for a little aggressive play over towards Hooker. Can't quite decide what piece of utility to use. Is going to opt for a Boombot v Boombot battle. Throws out a nade as well. Doesn't quite go where he planned for it to be. But that's not really the end of the world. 2 kills and he'll get it back, obviously, so hopefully he can do something like that. It does look like it's going to be a bit of a raise v raise fight coming down over here. DY making everyone aware that he is actually, in fact, pushed up into here with a little bit of spam. Chaos Knight taking down first blood over towards the A side of the map. And is looking for another one. Did not pop Empress. That colour did confuse me a little bit. But instead, it's going to be Nephilim obviously taking that kill over towards Circuit. As soon as I turned away, EP comes through, but Nephilim with the quick readjustment. And there we go. He got 2 kills, so he recharged his grenade. Obviously, no one else took the TP sound, so maybe a little bit of a waste. But to be honest, it's a 5v3, 5v1 against Dazilla. So, like, I mean, you know, not really the end of the world at all, to be honest. I mean, saying that, though, Dazilla does take the first kill and is aware of someone coming for the flank, but the Nephilim comes around the corner, blocked by that gun visuals, holding them in the right hand. Sometimes can be a detriment if you are peeking the incorrect angles. And he did just sneak through and find that kill. And is now 11-4. Feels like this game has been going on much longer than it has, but that's probably because of, you know, 10-minute pause in the middle. It definitely feels like this game hasn't been as one-sided as the scoreline shows.
The hunt begins.
Empress does come through this round. But Chaos Knight looking to get a little bit aggressive in the bathrooms area, but he needs to find a kill quickly or it's going to run out and it will be all for naught. Hitch taking a peek with this Sober drone. Flashes come through and he is backing up off the angle. Empress looks like he's going to run out on Chaos Knight. There isn't really anyone close enough for him to be able to get a kill. Takes down the turret and backs off, runs out. Fortunately, wasn't able to find anyone. Jet with the dash into Lamps, taking down Hitch. Wasn't able to catch that on playback, but it's fine. The bomb isn't actually in the hands of any of the attacking side right now. Chaos Knight with some nice pre-fight over towards mid, or A mid, peeking towards bathrooms as well. Almost takes down 2 for himself, but the Bulldog is a little bit too strong in that situation. But Nephilim finds a kill with a showstopper and is aware that the last plays in bathrooms with a nice little spray down to find the head of Dizilla. That is going to put them 1 round away from securing victory in this game. Although Hydro5 do have Viper's Pit Lockdown and Bladestorm available to kind of come back into this round, so they do have a pretty good chance considering there are no ults available for the opposing team. That could be good and worthy to note. Although they are opting for this aid take again, which has not really been too successful in the previous rounds. Hopefully they can do something different in this one. Playing very passively over on this A side of the map is Hitch. Doesn't want to get dashed by Jet again and killed with a Judge. Or a Bucky, sorry. Again, Chaos Knight is looking to push up right now. Doesn't see a Killjoy turret. But it does look like Sonny is aware this is a possibility. Turns away just at the wrong moment. So Chaos Knight is going to get in a very good position to punish all the players over on the A side of the map. Does start to run at precisely the wrong time. I don't know why you would start to run there. Maybe they heard some info over towards B thinking everyone was there. Hitch is going to find a kill, not traded out by Zerai. That was a really nice 180 from him, finding 2 in a situation that he never should have. And they do hear the TPs come through, so he's not going to rotate off early. Lockdown comes through, but it's not going to actually be in range of taking anyone down. Gale comes through as well, but Hitch, oh no! He whiffed, he could have taken a kill to the side, very unfortunate. You know, it happens to everyone. Good peek and take the bomb that planted down. Does in fact do that, but Jet is there for the quick refrag drop. I might just call him Jet this game because, you know, anyone watching it might be a bit confusing. As I know the name, but you guys don't. So Jet finding a nice refrag and bringing it 5-12. That was their first round this half. Indeed, in quite a while. It's not really going to have the most economical give them the most economical advantage because they still have a good, decent amount of firepower for themselves this round. They definitely still have a chance to take this 13-5. And that's obviously going to, well not obviously, but that is going to probably start over here towards the bathrooms area with Chaos Knight looking for an initial pick. I lied, I'm completely wrong. It is going to be Zerai taking the bet of his counterpart, Nephilim, on that Viper. I mean on that Raze, sorry. I was just a bit confused as to what that little indication was on the map around Sky. I think that might have been the heal, actually. He's going to explore this side. Viper's pick comes through. And Hunter's Fury comes through from the back of spawn, looking to find a few tags. Doesn't find any. It gets information that there's no one in that immediate area, I guess, and it is going to be Hitch holding this very close angle. He's going to take damage from the grenade and actually straight up dies to it. Interestingly though, Jet is in elbow area. It should be able to find Killjoy in the back. He's not able to find the kill cleanly, but gets the kill in the end. And that's all that really matters. Bomb goes down. And Chaos Knight is kind of still in bathrooms. I don't really know that, but I don't think he's going to be able to catch anyone very much off guard. Alitoon looking for a kill in towards Lamps, finds Turbine, and that is an upgraded gun for him. There are a lot of people peeking him on this angle. Killjoy is up there and takes 2, a nice little spray transfer onto the player beneath him to finish Chaos Knight. A little bit of BM spraying down the dead body right there. I do love to see it. Ball fair and friendly. And taking themselves 6-12, currently on half the score of their opposition. But they are in a pretty good spot to take this round as well, following off the back of the other one. They do not have rifles on the enemy side, but Jet, who was just moving around very happily and smoothly, disconnect. But a pause does not come through, so instantly at a pretty bad disadvantage into this round. Boombot does spot Nephilim, doesn't take damage from it, but now Jet, the enemy Jet, is going to think he only has a classic. A little bit of bait. Oh no, that could have been so brilliant. Instead, it's going to be Zerai finding a kill onto them. Hitch taking down Turbine with a now well-placed Sheriff shot, but Sai not failing to impress us with his aim. Getting the trade frag. Is it just a 1 HP Reina and Killjoy left alive? Does hear the bomb start to go down. And to be honest, Killjoy can obviously heal herself with her E and Q abilities. So they could definitely be in a worse situation right now. Hopefully we can find this kill onto Zerai. Not going to be the case. Superior weaponry does come in clutch. Despite being a man down, they have a good enough weaponry and aim to win that round out. You know, you would like to see another pause come through because Jet DC'd. They just don't want to... Oh. No, he's still DC'd. Okay. Maybe they don't want to pause and make this game go any longer with pauses than they have to. Not quite sure. What's going down?
Time for a field test.
It's not how you spell here, is it? Or is it? Oh, I have no idea. I'm pretty bad at spelling.
The hunt begins.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
Just making sure. Just playing 4v5. Confident they can take this. I mean, it's a very aggressive, you know, like big balls play. Feeling that they can take this round. Even a 4v5. Considering the scoreline of this game, it might be a little too overconfident. Yes, he's going to take down the turret. Now they know he is flanking. Empress is about to run out again. Jet has reconnected. Isn't going to be a is going to be a respawn this round. Okay. Pretty huge. It's back to a 5v5. Yes, Knight in a pretty nice position though. Might be able to find this kill. One is going to do so. Pretty clean as well. Does lose a little bit of health, but is obviously able to heal that back up. The power of being Reina, everyone. Fortunately, it wasn't quick enough to get that Empress reset, cooldown reset. EP comes through from Sonny. And Alza and Jet. So at this point, they can be pretty confident there's going to be a B push. Unless they rotate back through the connector area, but Hitch gonna go and TP to long to back up his teammates from this location. Nephilim finding the first kill, and they are still not out of Hucky at Nephilim, swinging wide for the second one, but opens his showstopper. Well, starts his showstopper kind of out in the open. Zerai is not aware of this flank from Hitch. Yes, finding the final kill, and a little bit of a strange final round, starting with one player AFK, but they returned, so it was in the end a genuine 5v5.